once you write, it's like, it feels really good. So it's kind of like running.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you don't really love it.
I don't love it at all.
No.
Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Cruisin with Zach. Today we have USA Today's best-selling author. She was on Amazon's #1 best-selling for romantic novels, Jennifer Shirk. Jen, welcome on the show.
Thank you. Wow, you really did your research.
Listen, the interns at Cruisin with Zach Incorporated, they did a lot of hard work to make sure that I don't look like an idiot on here.
Oh, wow, I'm impressed. Okay, that's good. The bar was obviously set low.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you took the traditional course to becoming an author. You got your degree in pharmacy,
Yep.
which is a prerequisite for this.
Obviously. Yes.
But tell us about your journey into writing.
Oh, okay. Well, I never wanted to be a writer. I really wasn't that much of a reader. So, so just your traditional start. I guess it started, I was working as a pharmacist. We moved here. I became pregnant with my daughter and decided to be a stay-at-home mom. And when I was pregnant and after I had her, I just would read a lot. I would go to the library, and just when she would go down for a nap, I would just read. I became a very voracious reader. And then I just decided I wasn't quite liking what I was reading, or I was getting tired of what I was reading, and I was making up different endings. And I thought, if an author wrote a book and I was like, well, I didn't like how she did that, or I didn't like how the ending, I decided to try writing my own. So I went online and I went to the library and got a lot of books on how to write. And I decided that maybe a good way to, since I never wrote before, a good way to kind of break into writing would be to start with the Harlequin paperbacks. They were like short little stories, and I thought, well, maybe I could write a short little story that would be, and then work up to writing a bigger book.
Right.
So that's how I kind of got started into writing what they call category romance, or like short romances, and I just kind of stuck with it, and now that's pretty much all I do. I haven't gotten bigger, but I keep wanting to write a bigger book, but it soon, maybe next year, I don't know.
So what is your process like? Like when you're writing, does everyone have to leave the house? Are you on your other side? You have a room?
Well, my husband would say I go up into a dungeon. I get banished to the 3rd floor. I need it quiet. Some authors can write with music and the TV on. I need quiet, and but I always have to outline first, so I have to kind of know my characters before I write. I have to kind of know, I don't have to know the whole story, but I have to know exactly what issues my characters have, because in a romance you can't have two people just fall in love and that's it, because then that's no story.
That's boring.
That's boring. So you have to have,
and it'd just be like me and my wife. That's boring.
Right. Right, nobody wants to read about
Nobody
that.
wants to read about me and Britt.
So people want to read about people who are in conflict, and police officer falling in love with a criminal, I don't write that, but but something like.
Well, you should. Okay.
But I should. Yeah, I just thought of that. No, but there's they have to have some sort of issue, because otherwise they would just fall in love and everything would be great. So I have these two characters that have really big issues, whether from their parents or from a prior relationship, that they kind of have these lies or beliefs either about themselves or about love in general, and then they have to overcome it before they can really have their happily ever after. So it's complicated.
Yeah, well, it makes for a good read then.
Yeah.
Writer's block, is it a real thing?
Yes and no.
Oh.
People get it, but I think it's more, it's mind over matter. You really just have to, it's more fear that puts people at a I can't think of anything, I can't write, you just have to push through it. And then once you push through it, it flows. But if I didn't write every time I didn't either feel like writing or it wasn't flowing, I wouldn't have any books written. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you have good days and bad days, but people who say they have writer's block are just well, it could be that they haven't plotted out their book and they've wrote themselves into a block.
I gotcha.
Because of how they formulated their story, and now the story can't go anywhere. That's a legitimate writer's block, but that's a mistake that you can fix. Again, so sometimes, and if people can't figure it out, then they're just like, huh, and they're blocked. They can't write it. But if they feel like it's just because they don't feel it or their muse isn't feeling it, that's just no.
Yeah,
No,
poppycock.
I don't buy into it. No, because nobody wants to write. All writers have difficulty writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just but it's like a love-hate.
Yeah, it's
like,
the struggle. You gotta trust the process.
But once you write, it's like it feels really good. So it's kind of like running.
Yeah.
Like you don't really love it.
I don't love it at all.
No, but you do it. But you do it. Yeah, I mean, I run, but I wouldn't say like I love it, but
you get that runner's high
yeah,
after.
you do feel good, like afterwards, or even you accomplish something. You
yeah,
feel
it's satisfying.
Like good. Yeah, and it's healthy. So it's writing is a little like that. It's
I
like
gotcha.
you don't want to do it, but you do feel good. And you feel like you accomplished something.
There you go. So Taylor Swift, my girl, she's a huge fan of the show. Thanks for the support, Taylor. When she usually breaks up with a guy, or if a guy breaks her heart, that's when she gets the best work. She might write a song about him and trash him. Now, your husband, Jeff, he's a sweet guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he pisses you off, because that's not it. But is there times when he gets under your skin and maybe you take that out on a male character?
No. No. No, but a lot of my heroes are kind of based off of my husband a little bit. They all have different personalities, but I'd say the core personality is always humor. And I don't know, my husband's pretty funny. I don't know.
He's dry, man.
He's very
He's
funny.
dry like a cracker.
Yeah. He's given me a lot of good material. I don't mention that like in the acknowledgments, but he has given me material where I'm like, I gotta use that. That's a funny line.
Oh, that's good.
And then people think I'm like really funny.
Everybody's coming from him. Awesome.
It's all him. Yeah.
All right, so real quick, we're gonna go right into the lightning round. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions,
Okay.
and you answer them as quickly as possible.
What happens if I don't answer quickly?
Well, then we just trash you.
Oh.
We just make. Yeah,
Okay.
I edit it and make
All
it
right.
funny.
Well, this is pressure. Okay.
It's a lot of pressure. It's the lightning round. All right. So if you were in a food eating contest, what food would you eat and when?
What food would I eat and when? Pizza. Anytime.
Pizza anytime. Okay. If you had a superpower not flying, what would it be?
Oh. See in the future. Can I see into the future?
Yeah, okay. All right. So you can see into the future.
All right.
That's a good one.
All right.
Okay. And finally, last question. If you can bring back someone from the dead and have lunch with them, who would it be?
Oh. Bring someone back from the dead and have lunch with them. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, two. Can I say two?
You can have two.
Okay. All right. Jane Austen
Okay.
and Mark Twain.
Oh. Nice. Mark Twain, my boy.
Yeah. He's
All
got
right.
a lot of great quotes.
And great hair.
Yeah. I guess.
All right. Well, Jennifer Shirk, thank you so much for being on the show. Where can people find you?
My website, www.jennifershirk.com. I'm also on Instagram. What is my handle? I forget what my Instagram is.
We'll find you, Jennifer Shirk. Jennifer Shirk author.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Shirk author. Yeah, duh.
I have done my research. See?
And also I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Jennifer Shirk on Twitter and Facebook. Jennifer Shirk Books.
And find all your books on Amazon, wherever books are sold.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Sunrose carries my books here in town, and Google Play, iBooks, you name it.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.